Rights and wrongs. 5. Grammar modals and related verbs. Vocabulary phrasal verbs. 1. Everyday English polite requests and offers. Reading the jar of pebbles, listening rules for life. Writing for talking. 1. The only thing harder than knowing the right thing to do. Is to actually do the right thing. Viet Than Nguyen. 1. Look at the photo. What are the cat and dog thinking? What do you think might happen? 2. Read the quote. Why is it so difficult to do the right thing sometimes? Question mark. Watch the video introduction. Use your workbook for self-study. Go online for more practice and to check your progress. 49. Starter. Grammar modals and related verbs. Look at the sentences. Say them aloud as a class. You. Can, must, should. Have to. 1. Say the negatives. 2. Say the questions. Go. 3. Say the third person singular forms with he. 4. Which verb changes its form? How? Everyday dilemmas. 1. Work in groups. Read the Everyday Dilemmas 1 to 8 inner and discuss what you think is the right thing to do. I don't think they should take stationery for personal use, because... They mustn't... 2. Read the lines AH in B and match them with the dilemmas in A. Do you agree with the advice given? 35.1 Listen and compare, and listen to the next line in each conversation. Can you think of a reply to it? 4. Underline the ways of asking for advice in A, and the verbs used in B to give advice. Grammar spot. 1. Which of these sentences gives the stronger advice? You should tell the shop assistant. You must hand it in. 2. Which of these sentences express permission? Which express obligation? You can, need to, must, are allowed to, have to. Leave now. 3. Complete the sentences with have to, don't have to, or mustn't. Children. You, most people, go to school. Go out in the sun without sun cream on. You, I have to go. Work on a Sunday. Work on Sundays. 4. The past of these sentences is the same. What is it? I must go. Grammar reference 5.1 to 5.5. P 145-7. What should I do? A. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Everyday dilemmas. Question mark. Question mark. 1. I work in an office with a huge stationery cupboard. Do you think it's okay to take envelopes and pens home for my personal use? 2. I've just found a £20 note on the floor in the university library. Should I hand it in? 3. My partner often leaves the email inbox open on his laptop when he's out of the room. Is it wrong to have a look through his emails sometimes? 4. That shop assistant has given me too much change. I don't know whether to go back and tell her. 5. I didn't enjoy that meal at all. Do you think we should leave a tip? 6. My friend says I don't need to buy the book for my university course. He'll make me photocopies of his. It doesn't seem wrong to me. What do you think? 7. Oh no. I've dropped the sausages on the kitchen floor. They look fine. Do you think it's all right to serve them? 8. My laptop's picking up the neighbor's Wi-Fi, and it knows the password from when she used it here. Do you think there's anything wrong with me using it? Question mark. Dash. 2. B. Giving advice. Or we don't have to leave one if we don't want to. B. You mustn't use it without asking her. It might end up costing her more. C. It's not just that it's wrong. It's illegal. You know you're not allowed to make copies. D. Of course it is. You need to give people some privacy, even in a relationship. E. You can't give people food that's been on the floor. F. Yes, you must, of course. I'm sure whoever's lost it will ask if it's been found. G. You probably should. They sometimes take it out of their wages if cash is missing. H. Well, you shouldn't really. It's not allowed, so it is actually stealing. Question mark. Question mark. Practice. Breaking the rules. 15.2 Listen to 3 conversations. After each one, discuss these questions. 1. What is the problem? 2. What is the advice given? 3. Do you agree with the advice? Give your advice if you don't. 25.2 Listen again and complete the lines with the exact words. 1. We. School term time. Please keep off the grass. Pay a fine for taking our kids on holiday in. Pay the ridiculous prices they charge for flights during school holidays. 2. You. 3. You. You. 4. They. 5. You. 6. No, you. 7. No, we. 8. I. 9. If you. 10. You. Go abroad on holiday. Take them somewhere in this country. Be smoking in here. Smoke anywhere in a public building. Get involved. Just sit here and do nothing. I think someone. Say something. Text wherever I want to, thank you. Text while you're out shopping, you. Stop somewhere. Stop every time you want to look at your phone. Practice the conversations in 5.2 on P133. Discussing grammar. 3. Choose the correct verb to complete the sentences. 1. Richard still hasn't arrived. Do you think I should, must call him? 2. You shouldn't, mustn't make any noise in the library. People are reading and studying. 3. Can, must I leave now? I need to get home early today. 4. You mustn't, don't have to go to classes to learn English, but it's more fun. 5. We didn't have computers when I started work. We must, had to, use typewriters. 6. Can, are you allowed to take photos in the museum? 7. Do we must, have to pay to use the Wi-Fi here? 8. You have to, don't need to study hard if you want to become a doctor. Go online for more grammar practice. Rules and customs, then and now. Past times. 1. Read about education in Victorian England. Work with a partner and choose the correct option in 1 to 3. 1. In 1870, children from poorer families didn't have to go to school. 2. In 1880, all children weren't allowed to go to school until they were 10. 3. In 1899, children weren't allowed didn't have to leave school until they were 12. 2. Read School Rules 1880. What do you think was true for Victorian schools? Complete them with had to, didn't have to, weren't allowed to. Education in Victorian England 1832 to 1901. In Victorian England, education played a very small role in most children's lives. In 1840, only 20% of children had any schooling at all. Then, in 1840, an Education Act was passed which said that children aged 5 to 10 should attend school. However, many parents ignored this because they needed their children to work and earn money for the family. It was only in 1880 that school became obligatory for all children until the age of 10, with 70 or 80 pupils in a class. Then, in 1899, the school leaving age was raised to 12. School Rules 1880. 1. Boys and girls had to enter the school through different doors. 2. Children. 3. Children. Call teachers, sir, or ma'am. Ask questions. Stand up to answer questions. 4. The children. 5. Children. Do any sports. 6. In the afternoon, boys. Do woodwork, while girls do cooking and needlework. 7. Children. 8. Female teachers. Use their left hand for writing. Get married. 5.3 Listen and check your ideas. Present times. 3. Work with a partner. Read the lines in 1 to 10. Which ones are connected with A. The law, B. Customs and manners. Which are true for your country? In Britain. 1. You can't buy cigarettes or alcohol until you're 18. A. The law. 2. Young people don't have to do military service. 3. You have to order drinks at the bar in a pub. 4. You aren't allowed to smoke in any indoor public place. 5. You must queue at the bus stop. 6. You should say sorry if you bump into someone, even if it's their fault. 7. You're allowed to cross the road when the lights tell you not to. 8. You mustn't use a mobile phone when driving. 9. You shouldn't ask people how much they earn. 10. Many schoolchildren have to wear school uniforms. Discussion. 4. Do you agree with these statements? Discuss in groups. Black circle. Schoolchildren should be allowed to call teachers by their first names. A man doesn't need to offer his seat to a woman on a bus or train. You shouldn't discuss personal matters on your phone in public. You must get someone's permission before posting a photo of them on Facebook. You don't have to get married to have children. You mustn't cycle on the pavement. Listening and speaking. Rules for life. 1. Look at the rules for life. Which 3 do you like most? A. You mustn't make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. B. You need to learn to be happy with yourself. There's no one else you'll have to spend more time with. You can't just keep moaning about not winning life's lottery. You need to buy the ticket. You must remember that what other people think of you is none of your business. The further away the remote control is, the more you'll like what's on TV. You've got to dance like no one is watching. Love like you've never been hurt, sing like no one is listening, and live like it's heaven on earth. It's better to have questions you can't answer than answers you can't question. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. You should just accept that some days you're the pigeon, and some days you're the statue. 25.4 Listen to 4 people talking about the rules. Which of the quotes AI do they talk about? 1. Lef. 2. Dan. 3. Amanda. 4. Mark. And 35.4 Listen again and answer the questions. 1. Why does she think other people on the dance floor aren't interested in how she's dancing? 2. Why does she think her family don't complain about her singing? 3. What does Michael, the man in Dan's story, keep asking God? Why is this funny? 4. What does Dan think we should do when we want something? 5. Why doesn't Amanda like the quote from Kierkegaard? 6. What would she like to be able to do? 7. What does Mark think his first rule tells us about modern life? 8. What kind of day is Mark having? What do you think? What do you think of the rules that weren't talked about by the 4 people? Which is your favorite rule of all? Why? Do you have any other good rules for life? Vocabulary. 4. Match the verbs in A with the words in B. A. B. 1. Change. Sure. 2. Pay. 3. Have. 4. Do. 5. Moan. 6. Make. 7. Answer. 8. Lose your mind. Your patience a good time. Someone's prayers. Your bit. About life. Attention to. Work in pairs and make a sentence with each of the verb phrases. I'm not good at making decisions. I keep changing my mind. Spoken English. Have got to. 1. Have got to means the same as have to, but is used more in spoken English. Look at the examples. You've got to help me out here. We've got to do our bit. I guess you've got to accept it. 2. Complete the conversations with s, ve, got to and a verb. 1a. Is your mum away? B. Yeah, so Dad. 2a. Where's my phone? 1. All the cooking. B. It's where you left it, on the table. 3a. Can I go out now, Mum? B. No, you. 4a. Have some more tea. B. Thanks, but Jim. Your homework first. Now. 5.5 Listen and check. Practice the conversations. O Grammar Reference 5.2. p. 145. Reading and listening. The philosophy of pebbles. 1. Look at the photo of pebbles in a glass jar. Is the jar full? 2. Read part 1 of a story about a philosophy lecture. Answer the questions. 1. Why does the professor say that it's important to pay attention to the question? 2. What other things does he use apart from pebbles? 3. What do you think he's trying to teach the students? 3. Read part 2 of the story. Can you summarize the message of the lecture in one sentence? 4. Work in pairs. Without looking at the text, try to fill in the chart. Check with the text. Pebbles, peas, sand. What they represent. 55.6. What do you think the professor says about the beer? Listen to the end of the lecture and find out. The Jar of Pebbles. Part 1. As Professor X entered the lecture hall, many of the students continued chatting noisily. When he reached the front of the hall, instead of calling for attention, the professor quietly placed his briefcase on the desk and then brought out from behind it a large, empty glass jar and a bag of pebbles. The room gradually fell silent as each of the students noticed what he was doing, and realized that this was no ordinary philosophy lecture. They watched curiously as he started dropping the pebbles carefully into the jar. When the glass was full of pebbles, he finally looked up at the students and asked them, "So, would you say that this jar is full?" Single quote. "Yes," one of them answered. "Do you agree, Sabina?" the professor asked. "Yes," replied Sabina. "Dan?" Single quote. "Yeah, it's full of pebbles." Maybe, but you need to pay more attention to the actual question," said the professor. He then reached behind the desk once more and picked up a bag of dried peas. He poured the peas into the jar and rolled the jar around. As the peas fell through the gaps between the pebbles, he continued to pour them in until no more would fit. "So, would you say that the jar is full now?" asked the professor. "Yes, yup, it's full now, yeah," the students answered. "Okay. ... said the professor. He smiled as he took a bag of sand from behind the desk and poured it into the jar. Obviously, the sand ran through the pebbles and peas and filled all the remaining space in the jar. "So, ... is the jar full now?" he asked. "Yes, it's definitely full." Single quote. "Do you all agree?" Single quote. "Yes." Single quote. The class began to giggle as the professor reached behind the desk once more. This time he produced a can of beer, and the laughter increased as he opened the can and slowly poured the beer into the jar, letting it soak into the sand until no more would go in. Part 2. When the laughter had died down, the professor began to speak. 66. Okay, joking aside, I want you to see that this jar is like your life. Now, we've all got to do some work to earn money, but apart from that, in a free society you're allowed to fill your life with pretty much whatever you want to. The pebbles represent the big things in your life, the really important things: your partner, your family, your friends, your health, your strongest passions. Sure, there are other things that seem really important, but the pebbles are the things which, even if you lose everything else, mean that your life can still be full and meaningful. The peas are other things which are also important in your life: your job, your house, your car. But you don't need to have these things in order for life to be meaningful, and they're not as difficult to replace if you lose them. And the sand. ... That's everything else in life, the small stuff. You can have great fun with it, watching TV, going on Facebook, playing video games. But here's the lesson in this. ... If you look around, you'll notice that a lot of people's lives, and maybe your own, can easily get filled up with too much sand and too many peas. You mustn't let this happen, because if the jar's full of sand and peas, there's no space for the pebbles. You've got to keep an eye on how much time you're devoting to the small things in life, because if you're not careful, you won't have enough space for the big things that are most important in life. You should make sure you're spending enough time on the things that bring you real happiness, doing something special with your partner, playing with your children, seeing good friends. You can always make time to do all the other things you think you have to do, chores like cleaning the house, washing the car. ... And you might decide you don't really have to do them as often as you think. So, take care of the pebbles first, and decide what your real priorities are in life. The rest is just sand. 99. What about the beer? Asked Kirsty. Dot. Dot. Vocabulary. 6. Match the words from the text with their definitions. 1. To giggle. 2. To soak. 3. To die down. A. To give time to. B. To watch carefully. Ordinary, everyday things. 4. To devote time to. D. Everyday jobs around the house. 5. Stuff. 6. To keep an eye on. 7. Chores. 8. Priorities. What do you think? E. To make something completely wet. F. Things which are seen as most important. G. To laugh nervously. H. To become quieter or weaker. Work in small groups. Think of other things in your life that are represented by the pebbles, peas, and sand. Are there enough pebbles? Is there too much sand? Are there too many peas? What could you do to improve this? Watch a video about choices to make when growing up. Vocabulary and speaking phrasal verbs. 1. Literal or idiomatic meaning. 1. What does pick up mean in these examples from the text on P54? In which is it used literally, and in which idiomatically? I'm glad you picked up on that, Kirsty. The professor picked up a bag of dried peas. In which of the pictures is the use of pick up misunderstood? Why? She picked up a little Italian. Buongiorno. She picked up a little Italian. 2. Work with a partner. In each group of sentences, which phrasal verb is literal? Which 2 are idiomatic? What do they mean? 1. My mum brought up 5 children while working full-time. B. The hotel porter will bring your bags up to your room. C. Don't bring up the subject of money too early in a job interview. 2. My business really took off last year. B. Would you mind taking off your shoes? C. The flight took off half an hour late, but we still managed to arrive on time. 3. I was so tired I dropped off to sleep while watching TV. B. The box dropped off the back of the truck as it went round the corner. C. If you want a lift, I can drop you off at the rail station. 4. Don't worry, the dog can't get over that wall, it's too high. B. I can't get over the fact that he lied to me. C. It's difficult to get over to young people why pensions are important. Separable or inseparable. Separable phrasal verbs. Nouns can go after both parts of the phrasal verb or between them. Look up this word. Look this word up. Pronouns must go between the 2 parts of the verb. Look it up. Inseparable phrasal verbs. Both nouns and pronouns must go after both parts of the phrasal verb. You'll get through this breakup. You'll get through it. 3. These sentences all contain separable phrasal verbs. Replace the words in italics with a pronoun. 1. Try turning off the computer. Try turning it off. 2. Take off your shoes. 3. Could you drop Jason off at the cinema? 4. They've brought up their children well. 5. Could you fill out this form, please? 6. Why don't you try on that dress? Read the sentences to your partner. Your partner should then repeat them using the pronoun. 4. Are the phrasal verbs in 1 to 8 separable or inseparable? Check in a dictionary. Replace the words in italics with a pronoun. 1. I managed to get through the day. Inseparable. I managed to get through it. 2. We both can't get over the shock. 3. You'll need to look these words up. 4. Why on earth did you bring his divorce up? 5. We'll look after your cat while you're away. 6. He'll go over my notes before the exam. 7. Do you take after your father or your mother? 8. They'll pick Carla up at the airport. 5.7 Listen to 1 to 8. Repeat them with pronouns, then check. Talking about you. 5. Complete the questions and ask and answer them with a partner. After, through, on. X2. Off, up. X3. 1. Did your parents bring you? 2. Did you get? 3. Do you often look words? Strictly? Well, with both of them? In a dictionary? 4. Have you got any bad habits that you want to give? 5. Have you ever looked? 6. Do you like trying? 7. Do you ever drop? 8. Could you get a baby? New clothes. When you're watching TV. A day without your mobile phone. Go online for more vocabulary practice. Everyday English polite requests and offers. 1. Match a line in A with a line in B. A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could give you a lift into town if you want. Is there any chance you could lend me £20? Do you want me to record that film later? Would you mind moving your car? Could I borrow a pen for a second? Can I give you a hand with those bags? Would you mind if I open the window? Is there anything I can do to help? B. No, go ahead. It is very stuffy in here. B. Thanks, that'd be great. I did a mega shop. C. I've only got £15. Would that be enough? D. Yeah. I used the keyboard shortcut, Control B. E. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't get out. F. No, the meal's nearly ready. Just sit down and relax. G. Oh, brilliant. Could you drop me at the station? H. Oh, yeah, do. We can watch it when I get back. 9. Could you show me how you made that bold? I. 10. I'll bring some food round if you like. J. Oh, yes please. I've got nothing in the fridge. Sure. ... I think this one works okay. 5.8 Listen and check. Pronunciation, intonation and stress. 15.9 Intonation is important with requests. Listen to the difference. Can you move your car? Can you move your car? 5.10 Make these requests in pairs, and then listen and repeat. 2. Could you confirm that by email, please? 3. Could I possibly use your phone charger? Would you mind if I asked you a personal question? 5.8 Listen again to the conversations in exercise 1 and practice them. With a partner. Grammar reference 5.6 to 5.7. P 147. 25.11 Listen to 4 more conversations. Who is talking to who? 35.11 Listen again and complete the request or offer you hear. In each one. 1. 2. Meet at 12.00 instead. Get a takeaway. 3. 4. Texting while I'm talking to you. A taxi. Role play. Work with a partner. Choose a situation and act it out to the class. You can use the ideas in the boxes to help. In a restaurant. Student A, you are a vegetarian customer. Student B, you are a waiter. Table by the window. Menu, wine list, order, suggest water, still or sparkling. In a clothes shop. Student A, you are the sales assistant. Student B, you want to buy a jumper. Help in the window. Colors, size, try on suit, sale, 30% off, card, cash. At home. Student A, you are having a party. Student B, you are a friend offering to help. Guest list, invitations, come over, help, drinks, snacks, move furniture, choose music, clear up. Writing for talking. 1. Using sequences in instructions. 1. Discuss the questions in small groups. Have you ever lost or damaged your phone? What happened? Is your phone under warranty? What can you do if your phone gets wet? 25.12 Read and listen to a talk about how to repair a wet phone. Complete it with the time sequences in the box. Then while finally, as soon as possible after first, then. How many other time sequences can you find in the talk? Underline them. 3. Answer the questions. 1. What doesn't the speaker promise? 2. What's the worst thing you could do after taking the phone out of the water? 3. Why is it a bad idea to use a hairdryer? 4. Why is rice a good way to dry out the phone? 5. What should you do if the phone... is working again? Isn't working again? Prepare a how-to. Talk. 4. There are lots of websites with information and videos on how to do different things. Choose a topic and do some research. It could be how to. Cook something, black circle, make something. Black circle, repair something. Take notes on the main instructions. What is there that people must, mustn't, can, don't have to, need to, should do? 5. Write a how-to. Talk to give to your class of about 250 words. Introduce the topic and say what you are going to explain. Then use time sequences to organize your talk. First, first of all, next, then, then, after that, after, a period of time, now, while, as soon as, finally, Go online for more writing practice. How to save a wet phone. Have you ever dropped your phone in water or spilled a drink on it? If so, you're not alone. A third of phones are lost because of water damage, and it doesn't always help if they're waterproof. Well, I can't promise anything, but today I'm going to tell you how you may be able to save a wet phone. You must get the phone out of the water too. I know that might seem obvious, but it's important to realize that every second it's in the water, the more likely it is to be too damaged to repair. So, don't stand there panicking and shouting, "Oh no." Just rescue it immediately. Next, you must switch the phone off straight away to stop water damaging the electrical circuits. If it was off when it got wet, you must leave it off. You mustn't switch it on to see if it's working. Of course, you're dying to find out if it is, but switching it on at this point is the worst thing you could do. Now, wipe off any water from the outside of the phone. Using some paper towels. 3. Gently shake the phone, so that any water inside has a chance to come out. After that, you need to dry out the inside of the phone as much as possible. Don't use a hairdryer to try and dry it quickly. That might seem like a good idea, but the heat will do even more damage to the phone. It needs to dry out nice and slowly. So, get some uncooked rice and put it in a plastic box or bag, and put the phone in the middle of the rice. Close the box or bag so that the air can't get in, and leave it for about 48 hours. 5. Keep opening it to see what's happening. Be patient. It's drying out, you mustn't. 48 hours you can take it out and try switching it on. You might be lucky and find the phone is working perfectly. But, be careful. You should back up everything on your phone as soon as you can, because there may still be a problem and it could stop working again later. If you need to take it to a repair shop, or return it to the manufacturer, you have to be honest about what's happened. Most warranties don't cover water damage, and it's no good saying, "My phone's not working and I don't know why." They put things inside the phone that tell them it's been in water, so they'll know you aren't telling the truth. Anyway, good luck, and take care of your phones. Single quote.